mentioned Cheryl Crow. Are there any other reading guides or writing guides that you found helpful in learning how to write that you maybe would recommend to authors listening?
Well, Cheryl Klein, someday if Zadie Smith writes a guide to writing, I suggest everyone on the planet who wants to write a book buy it, because she was amazing. And I don't think I would be at the skill level I am if I had not taken her class, where we didn't actually do any fiction writing. She had us read books, and then we had to write critical essays about the books. But the essay structures and the prompts that she gave us were extremely focused, and she was very rigorous in going through why certain literature works and why others don't. And so I feel like I learned a lot from her about the wider themes of books, or why books become memorable and strike a chord. Yeah. So that experience, which unfortunately is not in book form, was also really formative for me.
And you mentioned the pigeon research becoming available after you'd finished Coup, and
well, it's like in the process of it. Like a lot of it came out in the past 5 years, so there was
more. So you were able to make some corrections and
yeah.
Date. So this is cutting edge pigeon research included in Coup, folks. You're not going to get yesterday's pigeons.
Yeah,
these are modern pigeons.
Yes.
No, check out. You mentioned Cheryl Klein, who I had mentioned in the Book of David, and it just made me remember that I was so terrified as I was trying to finish the Book of David that UFO disclosure would happen before I finished it, and then all my fictions would be blown up.
Yes.
And all of that as a ham-handed segue to Kaela Noel. Do you believe in flying saucers, and have you seen one?
All right. Yes, I have not seen one. I absolutely, definitely believe in them, because I know other people that I'm close to and that I really trust and know well, who feel that they have had encounters with paranormal situations. So I absolutely believe that there's unexplained phenomena in the world. Whether it is what would be conventionally described as aliens, I don't know. And there might be other explanations, or maybe aliens are not what we commonly... maybe aliens are something different than what pop culture has them described as in this moment. I feel like they could be beyond our understanding. I am a big fan of science, but I also definitely believe that there's a lot that science has yet to be able to determine or even know how to investigate. And in terms of perspective, I think all we have to do is think about how limited science was 100 years ago, and think about how limited it may seem 100 years from now. And I absolutely think that there's paranormal things out there.
100% agree.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons I continue to ask this question in 2 episodes. I think from now, I can't remember, 2 or 3 episodes. Keep listening to Esteemed Audience, you get there. I chatted with Avi. And Avi first says, why do you ask people that? And I said, well, one reason I ask that is it's vaguely political, because I want more people to be aware of just how much information is out there about flying saucers.
Yeah.
Because one thing that's going to help science move forward is if you take your fingers out of your ear and stop going, la, 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 that can't be real. It is, though. Let's take a look.
I mean, I was fascinated by the articles that came out in the New York Times over the past... I'm sure other publications also wrote about them, and I'm not sure who broke the story, but you're probably aware of it. The extensive sightings of unexplained high-speed objects by Air Force pilots and Navy pilots over the past few years.
Yes, I can't think of the woman's name, but she's a very well-respected journalist, and it's an excellent novel.
And it's absolutely, I mean, it's the Army disclosing that the military of the United States disclosing that they were, I don't know if it was disclosed or if it was leaked, but basically they can't explain what this stuff is. And I think that speaks to the the possibilities and our own limitations. And I think that I'm not an atheist. I think that there's a lot in the world that is not explained by rational, what right now is considered the limits of the rational.
Yeah, it's kind of like us, like you said, going back, 200 years ago, and like, all right, well, our science has covered everything.
Yes, exactly. But there's a real sense of hubris, I think, in our culture that does assume that because we have high-speed computers and really advanced medical procedures now, that everything has been explained. And unfortunately, I think it speaks to a kind of impoverishment of possibility and questions. And I think that it's a dangerous way of thinking because it ultimately limits the questions that are asked, which limits the answers that we may get.
100% agree. Kaela Noel, I'm glad to have you in this fight.
Keep
the pressure on, folks. Call your senators.
Yes.
Let's get the information out.